covering Savannah and the Lowcountry. You're watching WJCL 22 Morning News, the one to watch.
Good morning, everyone. We want to thank you so much for starting your day here with us on WJCL 22. I'm Emma Hamilton here with our meteorologist Austin Green on this Thursday morning. And Austin, y'all are about to turn the heat on. It is going to get hot.
Yeah, really hot. In fact, the hottest temperatures that we have seen so far this year. And unfortunately, with that comes some muggy conditions, so it's going to feel even hotter than that. But hey, overall, it's going to be great beach weather. I mean, you think about if you're along the coast and you want to head out to the beach, it's going to be a great day to do so. Of course, you want to make sure that you have the sunscreen. And hey, if you have any other outdoor activities, more good news. We're not expecting any rain chances today. Live view outside right now of Thompson, Savannah. And again, notice very gorgeous blue skies right now. And it's going to stay that way for most of today. And temperature-wise right now, pretty comfortable, currently sitting at 76. But again, we're going to warm up pretty quickly, especially as the day goes on. As for the rest of the region, along the coast, temperatures mid to upper 70s in a few spots, Hilton Head. And then as you get further inland, most places still in the low to mid 70s. But again, we will bring temperatures into about the 90s today. So right now, radar looking pretty quiet. We did have a few showers that tried to sneak through earlier this morning as we were still working through the overnight hours, but didn't actually get any rain to note of, and we won't be expecting any through the rest of the day. Now, I want you to notice this big area of high pressure currently sitting over Florida, and look what it's doing. It's bringing winds out of the south. That's that warm wind direction that's going to help us with the temperature climb that we're going to see over the next few days. Now, as for those forecast highs today for some of our inland locations, notice 92 in Hardeeville, 90 in Buford, 92 in Pooler, and low 90s for Darien and Statesboro. And then for the coastal communities, a sea breeze in play will keep things just a little bit cooler for everywhere you look. Mid to low 80s, 86 in St. Simons, and down in Huntington, 82 as well. So if you have any plans today, again, great day to do so. Just make sure that you do stay hydrated and bring the sunscreen. Friday, though, look at the feels like temperatures right around 5 o'clock if you're making the drive home from work. 100 degrees in a few spots. In fact, Springfield and Ridgeland, again, the feels like temperature 100 degrees. And everywhere else you look, again, upper 90s. So it is going to be warm for at least the next 4 to 5 days. In fact, going to go even longer than that. Now, we will have a few clouds that stick around the region today, but again, no rain chances to note, and not expecting any. So as far as your 10-day forecast goes, look at the temperatures low to mid 90s, and that trend continues really all the way until next Friday, which is when we could see our next front. Again, this is for the inland locations. We'll have a small chance of maybe a shower or two on Sunday and Wednesday. And as for your coastal locations, more of the same things, just a little bit cooler. And notice it's going to be in the mid 80s as we go on Thursday. And then as we get a little bit into the weekend and then further into next week, temperature is going to stay in the mid 80s. Rain chances are going to stay away. And for the most part, I would say if you have any plans, I know that there's an event coming up on the beach. It's going to overall be a really, really good day to go out and do it.
Yeah, and Austin, I know that you're no stranger to the heat coming from Florida, but we're about to turn it on and not turn it off probably until like November.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. And I mean, the other thing that we think about is hurricane season.
That is also right around the corner, something we got to keep an eye on for sure. And so, like I just mentioned, for folks at home, you're new, so kind of get to know you a little bit. Coming from Florida, where are you originally from?
So I've actually always lived in Florida my whole life.
Okay.
So I've always been a fan of the Southeast, and I don't want to say a fan of hurricanes, but certainly always interesting. And heard Savannah's a beautiful place, so excited to check it out.
Yeah, very beautiful place. So what made you want to become a meteorologist?
Well, actually, I know a lot of people were always into meteorology from the time they were a kid. Yeah. Took me a little bit longer. In fact, it was Hurricane Matthew that actually came up the East Coast.
Okay.
That was one of the things that did it for me. And when it went through, it did a bunch of damage. And hearing the meteorologist talk about the next day that it never even made landfall,
yeah,
sparked that interest for me.
And I'm sure you know that Matthew was not kind to our area, so certainly memorable for us as well. So of course, being in the South, football is a big talk. Who's your team?
The Jaguars. Unfortunately,
okay,
I don't have a lot to brag
for
about.
NFL, you got a college team?
Yeah, Miami Hurricanes.
Miami Hurricanes, okay. And what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, now that college is over, we always enjoy intramural sports. I like going out to the beach.
Yeah.
A couple other things, going to exercise, going to the gym, just anything that can get you outside is always enjoyable.
Yeah, well, and thankfully here in Savannah we have some great rec teams, so you can continue doing those sports. And I think you picked the perfect place for the beach.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, awesome. Well, welcome. We're so happy you're here. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. GMA is next at 7, and we'll have local news updates every 30 minutes.